Bellingwood Vignettes by Diane Greenwood Muir. Book 9, Vignette number 3, It's a Dog's Life. Sal swiped her phone open and looked at the picture of the 3 dachshunds once more. How had she managed to live so long without having a dog of her own? She couldn't believe that Mark didn't have any pets here at the house either. That was one thing that surprised her about him. Well, there were plenty of things that had surprised her about the man, but a veterinarian without any pets? That seemed out of character. When she'd asked him about it, he tried telling her that his hours were too strange. That was true, but still. Last night she had shown him the pictures of the dachshunds, and he'd given them a perfunctory glance before turning back to the news broadcast. He hadn't actually said no. He hadn't said anything, either positive or negative. Sal tried to accept the fact that his life was busy, and this time of year was hard. Somebody's cow needed help delivering a calf, or a horse needed help with a foal. He promised her that it wasn't always like that. If she quit feeling sorry for herself, she knew that was true. Right now, though, she was tired of being home alone. This wasn't how she was used to living. When she'd been in Boston, there was activity all the time. She could walk into a coffee shop and be surrounded by the buzz of conversation. There was nothing more fun than to sit back with a cup of coffee and watch people interact. She imagined all sorts of crazy stories for them. And she loved flirting with the young college boys who were just a little awkward, then watching them leave with a swagger. Sometimes all she wanted to do was feel that tension again. The passion and hysteria, the drama and the commotion that filled her city. It wasn't that people were boring around here. They just moved at a different pace. She couldn't count the number of times she wanted to tap her fingers at a checkout clerk who rang up an item and then had a conversation with Sal or another clerk or even a different customer before ringing up the next item. Polly told her to take a breath and relax. But sometimes relaxing was just another word for death. Now she was being ridiculous. She loved it out here, and opening the coffee shop was another step toward normalcy. Right now, she needed something warm to love and snuggle, though. Mark was just going to have to deal. To hell with it, she said. If this is what makes him mad, we'll lick him until he can't take it anymore. Yip! The little red dachshund named Felix barked when he heard the back door slam. In a flash, the black and tan, appropriately named Oscar, joined in, both of them yipping and yapping as they ran to where they'd heard the sound. "What is this?" Mark asked, stepping into the living room. "I got lonely." He bent over and scooped up a dog in each arm. "You certainly did." "2? "I almost had 3, but the little girl was gone by the time I got to the shelter." "Are you mad?" "Because you didn't get 3? No, I think 2 is more than enough." "No, because I brought home 2 dogs today." He handed Felix to her and dropped into his chair. Oscar stood up against Mark's chest, licking his face, and then he started sniffing. Not to be outdone, Felix reached out from the sofa and put his 2 front paws on the arm of Mark's chair. "Yes, there are lots of great smells over here," Mark said. "Join your brother." He brought Felix into his lap, and the 2 dogs sniffed until they settled in. All 3 of them looked at Sal. "That is so not what I was hoping for," she said. "They're supposed to be my companions, not yours." Mark stroked down Oscar's back. "Have you taken them to the vet yet to have them checked out?" "Ah, very funny," she said. "They've been neutered and have all their shots. The paperwork is on the dining room table. I thought I'd take it up to Marnie tomorrow." "How old are they?" "Felix is about 2, and Oscar's only 9 months. They lived together, but the owner was moving somewhere and couldn't take them." "Oh, that's why they're so comfortable with each other. I wondered." "So you aren't mad?" "Sal," he said with a crooked grin, "you told me the other night about them. I knew at that point we were going to have dogs." "I didn't think you heard me." "I hear everything you say. Sometimes I just don't respond." "You still haven't answered my question." "What's that? Are you mad?" Felix had climbed up his chest and was trying to lick Mark's face. "It would be silly to get mad about taking in a couple of rescues that are as cute as this, wouldn't it?" "Well..." Mark put the dogs onto the sofa and moved out of the chair to sit beside her. He tugged at her until she was leaning back against him. The dogs went into a frenzy as they clambered up onto Sal's lap, whining and whimpering as they begged for attention. "I know you're lonely here sometimes," he said. "Your life is so different than it was a year ago. There's no way I can offer you all of that excitement, and right now, my life is so busy that I can't even be here for you most of the time. Why would I be mad at you for wanting a dog? Or two? Or two. I don't need you to sit here at home pining for my return. I need you to be Sal Kahane, a wild, driven woman who thinks for herself and does what she wants to do. I like being part of your life when I can. You are the sexiest, craziest woman I've ever met." "You're pretty hot yourself. Everyone says so, you know." She sat forward, dislodging the dogs. "But you really need to go take a shower. And at this point, I think you've soiled me too." Sal sniffed and scowled. "So you were just being sweet to me here? And thankful you have leather furniture. Phew, you stink." "I thought I'd cleaned up pretty well. At least I left the coveralls outside." Oscar was trying to jump off the couch. He ran to the edge, stopped and turned around to see if anyone was paying attention. Are they house-trained?" Mark asked. "I think so. We've been out several times today, and there haven't been any accidents yet." "Yet," he said with a laugh. "And where are they sleeping tonight?" Sal looked at him in shock. "What do you mean?" His shoulders drooped, and he dropped his head to his chest. "You just answered that question. Now my next is, what are we doing for dinner?" She looked at him coyly. "I'm cooking." "You're what?" he asked, laughter erupting. "You're cooking?" "Well, I thought that if you were mad about the dogs, I should do something nice for you. So I'm making dinner." "Oh, what are you making?" "Lasagna and garlic bread. I even made a salad, and I bought some cheesecake." "You're making lasagna? I had no idea you even knew how. And the kitchen looks really clean." "Well, did you know that you can buy it already made? It's right there in the freezer section." He took a deep breath and exhaled. "I feel so much better now. I couldn't imagine you boiling pasta and making sauce." "Well, stop it," she said. "But I'll put it in the oven while you take a shower. I think I can manage that." He stood up and bent over to kiss her forehead. "Please don't ever change. Ever. And I'm glad Felix and Oscar are here to keep you company, even if they do come between us in bed." "Oh, they'd better not." "We'll see."